Hey guys, welcome to Without Parole's live stream pre-show party. The festivities are about to begin of Sony's June 2nd State of Play, featuring some sneak peeks at PlayStation VR 2 games. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and joining me today from left to right is Miles Dyer from Miles Dyer Official.
Yo!
The guy to his right, that's AJ from The Underground, PSVR Underground.
The drought ends tonight!
And on the far right-hand side of the screen is Wes Dillon from our good friends over at Virtual Strangers.
Several sneak peeks, Brian. Several.
It's important we get the wording right. We don't want anyone to be disappointed. Nice.
Oh, dude, we're all going to be disappointed. It's inevitable, but at the same time...
I'm already disappointed.
Right?
Keep your expectations in check. Expect disappointment. And it will only be better than that. So just less disappointment.
Don't expect the unexpected is what you're saying. Expect the expected, expect it to be horrible, and then we're all going to be really, really happy. I got a sleepy tornado right here next to me, so she's like, don't use your mouse, Brian. All right, guys, we've only got about 28 minutes before the festivities begin, and so I figured we should just jump right into it. This is not specifically a PlayStation VR 2 State of Play. This is a State of Play featuring PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 flat screen games, and then they said a sneak peek at some several PSVR 2 games. So let's get the difficult question out of the way first. How many minutes of this 30-minute presentation do you think are actually going to be devoted to PlayStation VR 2? Miles?
I mean, I'm with Wes, what he's been saying lately. I've always felt it's between 10 and 15 minutes. I think it's going to be significant. Yeah.
10 and 15 minutes. That's a lot. It's a lot. AJ?
It's a lot.
It's either going to be 2 minutes or 10 minutes.
I like the firm, committed stance you're taking. It's either going to be horrible or awesome. And Wes, what do you think, man?
I think we've been hearing for longer than 6 months, 6 to 8 months, that Sony is preparing a PlayStation VR 2 games showcase, and it's going to be big when it lands. I think that this is that. I think that it's a 10-minute minimum and up to 20, but I think 15 is probably a safe guess.
You think this is that? So this is their chance to make a big splash. Like this is the one. This is the one that's going to convince everybody out there, because as we've seen from comments on Twitter and even people over on the official State of Play right now, people are saying very much that they're still not interested in VR. VR makes them sick. But why the whole thing? We have not gotten over that hurdle yet. Do you think this is the show that will convince, where Sony's going to be able to convince people that VR is a viable platform for gaming?
I think that this ad campaign, this promotional campaign will do that. I think that this is the attention getter. I think this is the one that's going to make everyone start to pay attention to what's coming from PlayStation VR. And then over the course of the summer leading up to the PlayStation showcase, late summer, early fall, I think that it's going to be a process of winning them over. But I think this is the attention getter, and I think that we should expect some big things today.
I totally agree, because when you look at the way that this has been positioned, this is not just PSVR 2. This is third parties we're going to be looking at. This is a great opportunity to build bridges to the customers that they need to appeal to. As we mentioned again and again on all of our Gamecast shows, people that own PSVR and still have them now are going to be getting PSVR 2. We have been sold to already. What they now need to prove is to those that haven't considered VR yet, or at least purchasing it, this is why you need to get on board. And so what better way to do it than a show where a lot of people are tuning in to look at third-party games, and then it actually in the second half moves towards VR. It's going to be interesting to see how that narrative goes throughout this State of Play.
This is Sony's first opportunity. This is PSVR 2's first time in the big spotlight, getting its own show. We've waited 2 years. 2 years we have waited for PSVR 2 to be shown on something more than just PlayStation blogs. And we've been like, where's the spotlight on it? So they have the monumental task of showing it off and impressing. First impressions are important. So they have a large task at hand, and the fact that they have already showed that there's going to be Horzion Call of the Mountain, a little bit more of that, makes me think that there's they've got some other tricks up their sleeve, some good surprises planned.
Darth Vader, the Game Cat with the $10 tip, Rare says, let's get this party started. Thank you so much, Vader, in the chat. Looper, the Underground Game Cat, Rare with the €2 says, it's gonna be epic, right? Peter, the Underground Game Cat, Rare on parole with the $5 tip, says, all four together, this is epic. This is epic, reminiscent to when all doctors got together in that Doctor Who special. Miles, can you chime in on this? And it can't get more British than that comment right there.
Despite being British, I mean, the way I translate it's like Avengers Endgame. You know, let's just say that. That's more
Game
American
cats
thing. Assemble.
Yeah. So we didn't address that on our way in here. We said hi to everybody and get the show started. But I think this is actually a very special moment. It feels really special for me to not only be able to be here with all the Game Cats that we've been. AJ mentioned that it's been 2 years of PlayStation blog posts that have just been like really disappointing, but for
silence.
But for AJ and I, along with Dave and other people who joined us on the show prior, it's been much longer than that. We had been telling people, don't. Sony hasn't given up on PlayStation VR. This is like they are going to have another headset. Everyone was like, oh, they're done. This is the next Vita. ... And so AJ and I were carrying the torch for a long time together, waiting for like. Yeah, it was great when they announced that they weren't leaving the VR space, but those last 2 years have been really painful. Waiting to see something that actually excited us. So I'm really enthralled to be here with all three of you guys and all the cats to like really celebrate this the way that it's meant to be celebrated. I'm thrilled. So thank you guys for being here.
Well, we appreciate it, Brian. And we've always said, even if this is the worst state of play we could have ever imagined, and it is just Horzion Call of the Mountain plus 10 seconds.
That's a sizzle reel.
and then it gets announced by Jim Ryan that PSVR 2 find out more in 2024. Even if that happens,
yeah,
it's amazing that we're all here like this today. And so also a big shout out. I mean, we've got 440 people tuned in right now. There's going to be a lot of new people that aren't aware of PSVR without parole. So if it's your first time here, welcome. And be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, and also hit that like button. It's all about hitting the like button. It helps with the algorithm. There's a lot of live streams happening on right now. But we hope you're really going to enjoy this show with us. We're super excited.
And spread the love around, man. Like if you're hanging out here and you like Miles, you like AJ, you like Wes, make sure you go to Miles Dyer's YouTube channel, PSVR Underground, to subscribe to AJ, and then Virtual Strangers to subscribe to Wes. We are one big happy family, and man, and I really do hope that some of this attention to PSVR 2 helps not only Without Parole grow, but these three gentlemen's channels as well. We got Alex the Game Cat with the 17 Donkey Kong countries says, "Let's go."
Let's go!
I was hoping you would do that. A Kill Artist won the Dreamweaver Game Cat. The $5 tip says, I've been playing No Man's Sky today. I got my roamer, and all the time I was thinking how great it would look on PSVR 2.
How about a PSVR 2 announcement for No Man's Sky? We know, with all that information that you got, Brian, we know that hybrid games and remasters, PS4 VR remasters, we know that because of the info you got from the Dev Summit last August. And how great would a No Man's Sky VR 2 announcement be? I'd be happy about it.
It's still No Man's Sky. Just kidding. That's a running joke for anyone who doesn't know.
In all honesty, that last Leviathan update, I think that looks really cool. It looks a lot like Returnal to me, which I love.
That's what they did.
I think I'm actually going to play No Man's Sky sometime within the next 6 weeks so that I can check this out.
Do it.
There's quite a few games that I've sort of put on hold until the next generation of headset hardware. And for me, No Man's Sky is that, because every time I come back to it, there's another update and I have to sort of relearn it again. And it is amazing. And there's no doubt it's a brilliant game now, but I'm just like, when PSVR 2, when you get that better fidelity and resolution, oh my goodness, just flying off the planet and looking back at what you're leaving behind is one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced.
And it look even better on PSVR
Yeah.
2. It'd be interesting to see if we get some remasters. We're gonna do some before the show, maybe 10 minutes before the show. We're gonna do some bold predictions, as well as some safe predictions and whatnot. And have a little bit of fun. You guys feel free to chime in the chat. We'll be looking and seeing what you guys think. What are your predictions for the show? I want to know as well.
Agreed. Bambino Ramos with the $2 tip says, love you guys. We love you too. So hyped. Just want a release date. Guys, before we move into more tips, what do you think of the chances of seeing a release date today?
So, one of my bold predictions, as I was saying,
I love that we're used to two people being on the show. So I finish talking, then everybody goes. I'm like, I'll just call on you.
Well,
one by one.
Since I had it as one of my bold predictions, this is not something that I expect, but as a bold prediction to have a little fun, I think they will give us a release window for PlayStation VR 2, and it's going to be Q1 2023. But maybe they'll just say early 2023, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, although I feel very confident with the Q1 2023 information, anything can happen. We've seen over the last couple of years, a lot of shit changes behind the scenes, like day to day. And so if that was to somehow not be true anymore, and it was actually launching in Q4, today would be the day to reveal the release date. Be like, hey, we're less than 6 months out. Here you go. If it doesn't get revealed today, then I am 110% confident about the Q1 2023 information rather than just 100% confident. Right.
If it was coming in Q4, this would probably be a time to mention that. Otherwise, something a little bit later this year, like September, where there's a rumor for something else.
Agreed. We've got Move Master Mick, the shape throwing PSVR game cat with the 20 quid says, managed to finally sober up and stop throwing shapes, but still buzzing since my team Nottingham Forest ended their 23 years of hurt to get back into the English Premier League with the playoff final last Sunday. Hashtag PSVR. I don't think that had anything to do with PSVR.
Nothing to do with PSVR.
But if you're excited, we're excited for you. How about that?
Yes.
Snacks, please, the emotional response cat. I'm sorry, heightened emotional response cat. With the $5 tip says, I'm having several heightened emotional responses right now. Wally is now a game cat rare, specifically White Tiger with Canadian $5 tip says, will you guys increase the size of the screen when it starts? Yeah, we're not going to.
Yes.
We won't force you to watch in that little box below me. That would be horrible.
It'd be torture. We should make it a little smaller, actually. We should.
No, we're actually going to be playing it.
Can we shrink that thing a little bit?
We're actually going to be playing it on Wes's green screen, so you're just going to have to look around Wes.
You'll just watch vicariously through us.
That's Wes is actually going to turn around and look behind him, and we have to sort of, like at the back of a theater.
Waleed also says, my prediction is that one of you will have an emotional tears of joy reaction by the end live on
I was
camera.
thinking about that. I was thinking about what they could show that would actually make me like tear up. It's gonna be hard though. I don't think they're gonna do it, but but we'll see. Never say never.
Listen, if they show
it has been a
Bioshock-
long emotional journey.
I'll bet that the sheer gravity of the moment drives at least one of us to tears as we start or within the first 2 minutes.
I feel like it won't happen for me until the show's over, like till after we're off the air, and I look back at everything and just like breathe a sigh of relief and go, that was amazing.
We're here.
Bar Fight 2 VR.
The Wolf Craze with a $100 tip. Thank you, sir. Or madam, I never ask. This is to hoping for something special this show. Thank you for getting together and holding this watch along. You are PSVR's champions. Big heart to you, my friend. Big heart. I did a heart thing. Can you see that? No, I don't know.
Thank you, Wolf Craze.
Gatorade 23, the H2O despising game cat with $20 tip says, full house tonight. Hell yeah, guys. Jim Miyazo with the 10 quid says maybe Sony needs to get ahead of the modders who are making upcoming PSVR 2 games playable in VR now. If so, tonight should see some big games and a release window. I mean, it would be nice to see like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Village playable in first-person VR. That would be really cool. We'll do one more tip and then we'll start predictions. How about that? Alejandro with the $2 tip says, Avengers Assemble. Cap.
Assemble.
What's Cap?
You did miss Lewis
Iron Man.
Knight. Let me get Lewis Knight here.
I did miss Lewis Knight. Thank you very much. Wait, hold on. Cap, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor. Now go.
Cap,
I'm so sorry, I missed your tip,
Iron Man,
Lewis Knight. They're going by
Hulk.
fast.
I'm the Hulk. Nice.
Oh, there he is.
think-
Lewis Knight, $5 tip says, fingers crossed to see something awesome today other than your amazing faces. Love you all.
Aw.
Thank you, Lewis. It's been a long
Lewis
time.
is an OG PSVR streamer, guys.
Yep.
OG in the house.
Yeah, Lewis was on the original crew that I started playing Starblood Arena with. Pulled me out of my single-player closet and into the multiplayer world. It was amazing. All right, let's start from the right-hand side of the screen and work our way left. Wes, what are some of your predictions for tonight? Let's start with some of the safer ones, some of the ones that maybe are...
Oh, and I hate to jinx it. But it's so obvious.
Got some music
that,
here.
Yeah, I got it. I
got
got
music as
same
well.
thing here. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Resident Evil Village it's going to be here, right? They're going to announce that DLC to the flat community and then use that as a segue to get into the PSVR 2 stuff. It makes too much sense. I fully expect that to happen.
Well, sweet. Well, I'm glad you got that out of the way because I did a Twitter poll. I'm going to let the people decide my first safe prediction, and the people have spoken, guys. And that is Half-Life Alyx will be shown tonight for PlayStation VR 2, will be announced. It just beat out Resident Evil Village. People seem to think that we'll likely see either Half-Life Alyx or Resident Evil Village tonight. If on a perfect night, we'll get both.
Miles?
That would be perfect.
Well, I mean, Resident Evil Village was definitely at the top of my list, but so that leaves me with a controversial but safe bet, which is I think they're going to show Horzion Call of the Mountain. I think they're going to keep that promise. I think they're going to keep that promise.
No way.
I think they're going to keep that promise. I really do. I know.
I feel like you're cheating.
Yeah, well, no, none of you called it. all my other predictions are like not safe. Like, and I do think that Resident Evil Village it's not completely safe. Like, there's no real leak about it, being there, but it is the one, as Wes says, makes the most sense, and it's the one that many of us, as you mentioned on the last Gamecast show, the reason many of us have not played Resident Evil 8 yet, because we are waiting for that VR version.
We've been following evidence for years that shows us reasons why we think Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village, Half-Life Alyx, maybe even Grand Theft Auto, a couple different things. Brian, however, we need to hear your first prediction.
I think it's pretty safe that we'll see something from Astrobot, and I'm being very vague.
Ooh.
because I think that Sony likes to release new hardware with some kind of playroom Astrobot experience thing, and I don't think this is going to be any different. And I think it'd be really, really cool for them to say, to see exactly what they have planned, whether that be a new PSVR 2 playroom, whether that be just an Astro experience, or whether that be Astrobot Rescue Mission 2, which I think is the least likely of the things I just listed. Astrobot Rescue Mission 2 would be amazing. And Team Asobi have been they're a much bigger studio than they ever were. And so it is very possible that they've been hard at work on this, and that they could have a sequel ready for launch or soon after. So maybe showing Rescue Mission 2 is plausible. Maybe less of a risky bet than I think. But I think something from Astrobot, something from Team Asobi with Astrobot in it.
This is what makes this upcoming next gen of VR so exciting, is that almost anything is possible. It's almost like a matter of when, not if, because anything is possible. You've got PS5 games that will have VR options, and well beyond that, games just straight up built from the ground up for PSVR 2 and actually have hardware that can support it. So yeah, Astrobot is a great pick. That would make me really happy. I feel like that's one that if not tonight, we see later down the line.
Craig Ray in the chat with the 5 quid says, safe prediction, Blood and Truth 2. What do we think?
London Studio.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where do we think we are on that being something that they'll actually do?
I don't think Blood and Truth 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if London Studio has something in the works, because they typically are known for making stuff on new hardware and accessories. So
I'm going to say that Blood
Yeah.
and Truth is a little safe. Blood and Truth it was a safe PSVR 1 game. Didn't feature like real full locomotion. It was, the evolution of an on-rail shooter. And I don't think that London Studio would go back to that. I think that they've evolved. They want to do something bigger, something more ambitious, and something that will impress people more. It was an amazing action movie type experience, but I think it's time for more gameplay, like something deeper that resembles something you would play on a flat screen a little bit more.
This is not. Oh, sorry, you go, Wes.
No, I was just going to say they could do that and still stick with the franchise. They don't have to adopt the restrictions of the previous generation's hardware to keep the IP. So I think that it's a pretty safe bet that they are working on a sequel. But I don't think it's a safe bet that we'll see that today. Because I think they're again trying to capture the attention of traditional gamers, and I don't really think that's one to do it.
The way I see this playing out is we've got sort of stepping stones of how we get PSVR 2 to market, and right now there is one game hovering over the PlayStation community, and that is the new God of War. I don't know if we're going to see it, but if we see it, that's great. If not, I think that's fine as well. It is going to be coming out, before the end of the year. I think that is the focus for the PlayStation community, and it buys time for everything else. I think, with exception to Horizon Call of the Wild, Call of the Mountain. Sorry, someone just wrote Call of the Wild in the chat and threw me off. But with exception to that, I think it is going to be a focus on third-party VR games, and maybe in like a highlight reel at the end, they might tease some first-party ones. I think then a showcase in September is when they really ramp it up. Today we might be told what the window is for the launch of PlayStation VR 2, but then in September we get, the actual date and maybe pre-orders. And if it is the first quarter of next year, it goes to the thing that we've always said. The bottleneck for selling PSVR 2 headsets is how many PS5s are on the market if it's not going to be playable on PC. Yeah. And for that to happen, they will want to drive into Christmas, sell as many PS5s as possible. And then once that is gone through, they can then head into the new year, which is what they did this year with a lot of games that were delayed from the previous year for the PS5. And you go into January and February with a lot of hype around the first party titles that they'll show, hopefully in September.
Wes, should we keep going on the predictions, Brian?
Yeah, man, we got to move into some bold predictions with only 7 minutes until the show starts. Just real quick, I want to make sure we give shout out to people who are donating in the chat. Original Uber Bitch, the Bearded Game Cat with the €5 says, the whole Pantheon on screen. Time to finally start that I was going to say bad boy band, but boy band, guys. Thank you so much. And Peter the Underground Game Cat on parole with $5 tip says, over 600 people and only 250 likes. Smash the like button, Tarzans.
Smash the like button, Tarzans.
Wes, give us your first bold prediction, man.
Bold prediction. Okay. How's this? I think that that we're going to see Insomniac Games here, and it's not going to be to show off Stormland. I think that we're going to see have our first look at Wolverine VR.
Wow. That'd be amazing, and way safer in VR than something like Spider-Man, right? Because like you're on the ground, you've got your sense controllers, and you can just swipe your claws.
You'd have to think Spider-Man or Wolverine, one of those is getting a VR version in the future at some point. They'd be crazy not to. And like you said, Brian, Wolverine kind of makes more sense because of motion sickness preventing that. Maybe they give a little bit of time for people to get their VR legs and then do something like Spider-Man. Yeah. But either way, one of those needs to happen as soon as possible.
Spider-Man would blow people away, showing people you playing as any of the Spider-Men, like web slinging your way through Manhattan. I think they don't need to show much gameplay. Just show us doing that with the fidelity of graphics of something like Call of the Mountain. I think that would be really impressive. But yes, Wes, I absolutely agree. One of their flat screen games in VR. AJ, bold prediction.
Bold prediction. Callisto Protocol will be shown as a third-party game, and then we'll also announce that it has a VR mode, and we're all going to die when we play it.
That scene where the monsters comes out, dude, attacks his face up close in VR. That'd be horrific.
That's one that I've been secretly hoping gets a VR mode.
Miles, Something bold, man.
Right.
Something bold. Make it good.
So earlier today on Twitter, I did a list of a 20 wish list, and some of them are completely ridiculous. But there were 3 titles in there that I'm going to tie in here, which is one of the major developers that that PlayStation has either partnered with directly or has investment deals with, I think could show today. So Rockstar Games, Sony and PlayStation have worked with a lot. Could we see GTA 5 or VR? Or could it be all the work they've done with Epic Games that have really been showing the power of Unreal 5? Could it be that they are going to do Fortnite VR? Or thirdly, with the recent acquisition of
Are you
Bungie
just reading
Games,
through your entire tweet? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm not. I'm only doing these 3. I'm only doing these 3, I promise.
Shenanigans.
Could Destiny 2 be shown as a VR title? So, these are 3 massive, live service games that are well known that PlayStation has become, in close proximity with. Could we see one of them peak in today's showcase? I think it's unlikely, but if so, if any of these showed up, my goodness, it's going to be mind blowing.
I keep thinking about old IPs that Sony needs to bring back, with VR being the perfect medium for that. And if you make them crossplay with the flat screen and make it a hybrid game with PSVR 2, then suddenly you're talking about a game that could not only blow people away, but also be a headset seller and have plenty of multiplayer players at all times. And the 2 games that keep coming to mind are Killzone VR, which, if you guys don't know,
Yes.
recently talked about that on the show. Got a little bit of surprising news traction out there. A lot of people started talking about that once I started talking about it. So Killzone VR, I think, would be an amazing way to bring the series back with, because I think a lot of
Herman
people missed
Holst is the head of PlayStation Studios, so that's a guerrilla IP. So,
And the other one I always think of is Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is just, I mean, again, vehicular combat. Like I don't know if that the time for that is come and gone. Maybe that's too small of a genre. Maybe not though. I think that
hasn't happened in VR yet.
Yeah, I mean, like, not with like cars. Like we saw how amazing Starblood Arena was, right? But if you make it dark and gritty and over the top violent and bring Twisted Metal with the Black style, because Twisted Metal Black was just the best Twisted Metal game ever. I mean, I would die for that in VR. So these are stretches, of course, but you got to wonder what the hell Sony's doing with these IPs that are obvious fan favorites. Sony's sitting on a lot of IPs right now, and they've got a lot of studios who could be making these games. It doesn't, like, the original developers do not have to be making these games, which is pretty cool, I think.
SOCOM.
Dude.
Number 1 says Ape Escape.
We've just 1 minute to go. We are about to cross 700 people watching the live stream right now, which is amazing. Woo. Anyone who is watching and joining, say hi in the chat if you're new, so we can welcome you. And the best way you can get us, amplified out there across YouTube is smashing that like button. We're at 300 likes now. There are 700 of you watching. No reason why we can't get another 200 likes right now. We got a minute to go. Just smash it if you haven't already.
30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds.
If it's only 30 seconds left, I'm going to switch over to the full screen here. There we are. And we'll get that up and running. But while we've got just a minute or 2 left, let's get a few more tips out of the way. We got Yaduma with the $5 tip. Says, as someone that sits back and doesn't say a goddamn word, wants to support the channel. Love you all. My go-to podcast. We love you, man. Thank you so much for sitting back and not saying a goddamn word.
My timer says 123, 122, 121.
I got 130 over here. 130, 29, 128, 127.
15.
Oh, I'm
14,
pause it, Wes. Brian, you
22,
count down.
21, 20, 19, 18.
I'm 115.
17, 16, 15, 14.
We're not doing this for the whole
thing. We're trying to get linked up here. If you guys don't know, we're trying to sync it up.
9.
Perfect.
8. Is that
perfect.
okay?
Yep.
Can I just say though that I've actually got a stopwatch here. So as soon as VR starts being talked about, I'm going to click start so we can find out exactly how long they talk about VR for.
Yes. Nice. You're going to do it each time, right? Every time they show VR.
I'm just going to leave it. It's going to be one bulk, isn't it? They better not mix it up with third party stuff.
They might mix it up.
Yeah, they might.
Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll. Yeah, I was thinking they could mix it up, especially if they start with Horizon and then change it up. It really, who knows? Sony's so hard to predict these days. Oh, good.
Diego Darko, the super fat game cat rare with 5 quid, says super exciting to see the 4 game cats of the apocalypse all together. We're watching the stream live in big screen room code HEZ357. Remember, HEZ357. If you have big screen, you can go watch it. You can go watch it in VR with some other cats. We got Gatorade 23, the H2O despising game cat rare with the $5 tip, says, here's hoping Farpoint 2 makes an appearance. We got Jonathan.
Yes.
Jonathan Roblox, the $10 tip. Hey, Game Cats, you guys are awesome. Let's go on Fallout 4 VR. And I'll definitely get you guys
here we go.
the rest of your tips later.
Here we go.
Anticlimactic.
Oh my god.
Is that VR?
24.
What?
2023.
Could it be?
Could it be the release date?
Last of Us.
Sounds like Last of Us guitar.
Yeah.
But that's first party, not third party.
Nah.
R? B?
It's not in factions. Ooh.
Resident Evil? 4. All right. That's a good start.
Underwater to roost. I've located baby eagle.
Ooh, look at them graphics.
Oh wow.
I love this already. What a great start.
I know.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get this version.
Are they going to make it first person?
And sexy.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
This looks great.
Almost as good as the Quest version.
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Sweet. Looks beautiful.
Great.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Quick as well
Great start.
for a.
Yeah.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different.
Do it.
First person
It has
gameplay.
to.
First person gameplay.
Chills.
Do it.
Could this be a
no.
turning point for state of play? Could PlayStation
Maybe.
redefine?
Maybe.
Oh wow.
Oh!
Content.
PlayStation VR 2!
Content.
Yes!
Wait,
Yes!
what does content mean? What does
Yes.
content mean?
State of Play
Content.
returns, and we've got
It means
some
an
great places
gotta be
RE4
a game.
experience, Brian.
Okay.
And thanks to
Resident Evil
Capcom
4,
for kicking
PSVR
it off
2.
with Resident Evil 4 coming to
Hit your
PS5
stopwatch.
with PlayStation VR 2 content
Here we
also
go.
in development.
Content.
Now let's get a sneak peek
There you
at
go.
4
Oh,
games in
oh,
development for
yes,
PlayStation
it's happening.
VR 2.
All right,
VR 2.
all right.
Yes.
Oh my god, you guys, it's happening!
Let's take a look at him.
In development for PSVR 2.
Wow.
It's happening!
Well, Ethan Winters.
Doesn't say content here
You
either.
escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Yes, Mother.
Yes, mother.
Dude, my heart is racing right now.
Yes!
I didn't expect to be this excited.
Yes!
This is the perfect start to a state of play.
Yes!
Show me your hands. I want to see the
Resident Evil
sense
4
controls.
and Resident Evil 8. Now give us 2 and 3. Oh my god, yes. Yes.
There we go.
Be bear hugged by her in VR. It's gonna be so nice.
Oh my god, you guys.
Man blood.
Oh my god, you guys.
I can't wait for her to lift
They
me up.
did
It's
it.
gonna be so good.
They did it.
This looks better. This looks better.
Oh my god.
I didn't start the timer because I didn't think they were going to start with VR. This is bold.
Village VR, baby!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yes!
We've got 5 minutes of VR content already.
This is the best state of play we've ever had. already,
Yes,
and it's only
absolutely.
5 minutes.
And look, and we're still into VR2 here.
Well,
PlayStation VR 2. Is that no?
You, of all people, have the audacity to question me? You,
Saints and Sinners.
from the putrid waters
Saints and
of
Sinners
the
2.
vine
Yeah.
to plunder
Good call.
our righteous
Good
gains
call.
and cut our throats like a demon in the night.
Chainsaw.
What have
Come
you
on, baby.
done to ensure the future of this forsaken city? You, who have brought nothing but chaos.
Flashlight. Show me the chainsaw.
When death
my
was
heart is
swallowing
racing
this
right now.
city
This is
whole,
so good.
it was
Yeah.
I who resurrected it. It was
And the
I who
footage looks
shined
great.
as a beacon of hope for all. The tower
my God, I'm
cries
so
out for
happy.
blood, and I
Oh,
vow
shit.
to spill it.
So good.
The tower.
When
Yes.
the bells ring,
Oh,
the
shit.
song
Oh,
they
yes.
sing will be righteous.
Oh, please show him cutting him up.
Can I just give a massive shout out?
Oh my God.
See.
Yes.
Can I give a
got
massive
chills, you
shout
guys.
out
Got goosebumps.
Skydance Interactive to
Yes.
be in a
Yeah.
PSVR 2 showcase alongside
Yes.
Capcom
Like,
with
Oh my
Resident
God.
Evil.
This is
That
the greatest fucking day of
amazing.
my
Wait,
life.
wait, wait, wait.
Another PlayStation VR 2 game. Oh,
It's No Man's Sky.
Sky. What? No way.
All right, it's officially
No
everything
way.
we ever wanted, right?
Okay, it could end now and I'd be happy, but
No
we
way.
still got 20 minutes. Or a bit less.
Oh, the new solar ships. No. Oh. Dude. The
Oh
sandworm.
man, this.
Oh. I might cry. I lied. I might cry.
All right, if we get any more,
I
it's
can't take
already
this
more.
anymore.
It's already more than I thought we were gonna get.
If they do GTA 5 next,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
here we go.
Oh shit, there's more. Oh, perfect.
Oh my God.
Where are you taking
We're gonna get to see the
It's
other leg.
so beautiful.
Wow, it does look beautiful.
Oh.
Wow.
Rail shooter confirmed. Just kidding.
Everyone says Reyes is a good shot.
Yeah, and he'll put arrows through both of us.
What? Oh, watchers. This has got to be just the beginning. Show us some game. Oh, look at that.
Yes, kick them out so they have
There we go.
Oh,
Right of the boat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, swimming.
Yes,
Locomotion.
there we
baby.
go. There we go. Climbing.
Climbing.
It's just like
Yes.
Uncharted. It's got climbing.
Oh, it looks
Wow.
so beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
So good.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
It's got some
The
frozen wilds in it.
waterfalls.
Look at this. It's fucking
Oh my
beautiful.
God.
Fucking
Find
Oh.
beautiful.
why the machine.
Look at that.
Bow and arrows with
Oh,
the
bow and
haptics and the
arrows.
orbs.
Look at this.
Oh, with the adaptive triggers. Oh, there's combat. Yes. Let's go. Oh.
This is
Wow.
this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We see the other leg. We get to see the other leg.
It will take all your wits, your skill.
Wow.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at the
zip
size
lining.
of those worlds.
Climbing. Oh my.
Right.
Oh.
Does this confirm open worlds? I mean, like, this is crazy.
I don't know. It doesn't
it's-
necessarily look
it's-
open world.
It looks
but
open world.
It's fucking
Now.
insane.
Oh my
For a
God.
brand like Horizon,
Amazing.
Into the light.
they're not going to missell that.
Oh,
This looks
God.
open world.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Incredible. I mean,
Hi.
oh, hi.
I'm Ben McCall,
Wow.
Narrative
Hi,
Director
Ben.
of Gorilla. I hope you enjoyed your first look at Horzion Call of the Mountain,
It's like our third.
coming exclusively to PlayStation VR 2. We're also happy to announce that a big update to Horizon Forbidden West, including New Game Plus, will be available to download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5
Nice.
today.
Look at that, man. Oh, they are killing it with this. Oh, they are pleasing today.
This is a phenomenal state of play. This has totally changed the way they're going to be viewed.
Guys.
Ultra hard difficulty, no thanks. The game's
Ultra
hard.
hard, yes. Oh my God. New Game Plus. This is incredible.
Can I just remind everyone, we're only 10 minutes in.
For details on this free update,
Oh my God.
please check out PlayStation Blog.
But Miles,
From
it
all
has
of
a
us at
wire.
Killzone, thank you
my
for your
God.
continued support, and please stay tuned for more updates to come.
Yeah, best state of play we've ever had. It's
Best
only
best
a
thing I've
third
ever
over.
seen in my life.
Yep.
Get ready. A PlayStation fan favorite is coming to PC.
Ooh, PC.
Coming to PC.
All right.
What do we think?
Returnal.
Oh, Returnal.
Spider-Man.
Years
Oh, Spider-Man.
sacrificing so much,
Really?
asking for nothing.
Wow.
If you want to change the
Congrats,
world,
PC players.
you have to be the kind of man.
Although if it's just the first one, it has been, what, 3 years? 4 years?
Do you really need 2 of those?
You are everything that's wrong with this city!
I'm gonna go,
Good timing with the success of the movies
Do your
to
thing.
bring it to a wider audience.
You can't just push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring back the glory days!
Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
I'm like still in shock with
Great.
the PSVR 2 stuff. I don't even.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What an opening.
I'm waiting to wake up. Is this Stray?
There we go. Everybody's favorite game.
Yeah. Crazy.
I keep pausing my stream and playing it again because I keep thinking I'm just a tad in front of you guys. But
You are a tad in front of me. All of you are, but that's okay. It's like 3 seconds.
Blade Runner cat. I love that in the chat.
Blade Runner cat. Oh my God, you guys. I can't believe it. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil Village. Saints and Sinners 2. No Man's Sky and Horizon. Oh my God.
I gotta say, Stray looks better than expected. Just
This
saying.
looks fun.
Yeah.
This looks really fun.
Yep.
It looks really good, actually. Yeah.
Dude, the Resident Evil 4 content, though, like the PSVR 2 content of Resident Evil 4,
Yeah.
that's what I need
Yeah.
clarified. I need to know what's going on with that.
Mercenaries mode. That's what that is.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
July 19th. Oh, that's really soon.
Explore a mysterious cyber city in Stray, coming to PS5 and PS4 July 19th. PlayStation Plus Extra members and higher can download Stray at no extra cost when it launches next month. Up next, 3 games that will get your heart racing.
3 games.
Callisto Protocol? Striking distance, is that?
Crafton. I think you could be right. Yeah, it's got the thing on the back of his neck.
Is it Callisto or is it Dead?
Yes. Oh, I think it's
Did you
Callisto.
know that they call Callisto the dead moon? Dead. Just like you would have been.
Guess we're about to
if I
find out if they're
fished
done talking
you
about
out of
PSVR 2 games or not.
Yep.
It might be.
Whatever you're holding on to right
This looks so much like Dead Space.
that's your old life. You gotta let that go.
No, this is definitely Callisto.
okay.
Protocol.
Is
Yeah.
entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance.
Oh man, this looks so good. Looks third person though.
Yeah. This looks.
It's very survival horror.
It's so good to have the original
just love
Dead
that
Space creator now doing a passion project again.
Agreed. Because
Looks
Dead Space
great.
3 was terrible.
chills every time.
Brutal.
That looks really good.
I can't
I like
wait
the
for this.
survival. PSVR 2. Looks like it. Maybe it won't because it's third person, but we'll see.
Yeah.
In the year 2030,
Jupiter God?
I don't think so.
a new blood sport grips the globe. And in the arena,
Borderlands
there
prequel.
will only be the victorious and the dead.
So it's interesting, right? Normally when they start state of plays with games like this, everyone in the chat gets annoyed because it's like, come on, just show us what we want. Whereas I'm actually enjoying watching this, having been shown some amazing stuff. Opening big is definitely the way to go.
Looks a little empty.
I feel like they tried to launch PS5 with a game just like this, and nobody got excited for it. They gave it away with PS Plus, and no one still played it. I mean, this looks cool, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, the competition is just too fierce, man. I feel bad for any indie developer making a flat screen game right now because the competition for all these things that kind of look similar.
Smaller game. Gotta support the small games too.
Yeah, exactly. But man, it's tougher times than ever for indies.
Yeah.
So much competition.
Nope.
I love it. Whatever it is, I want it.
Nice.
I've always wanted my
Mega
arm to be
Man?
able to do that.
Love the music. What about you, AJ?
I like hack and slash too.
There's always a couple of these hack and slash games. Seems like.
Did it say at the start who the developer was?
I don't think so.
No.
Ooh.
Ew. I'm going to miss them.
Awesome music.
I look forward to seeing what you can do.
This has got a little bit more going on than the last game.
Yeah.
Last game looked a little empty for me.
The character models look so familiar. It's almost like an anime that I've seen before, but like it's not ringing a bell at all. Like, I guess it should be.
Are we going to see something from Square Enix before the end of this? That's the question.
Maybe.
Oh, dude, they got to finish off with something like, oh, and one more big fucking event. You know, one more big
Maybe.
announcement. So maybe.
Maybe.
Kowloon Knights.
Action games and dating sims collide in Eternites, coming to PS5 and
Brian's
PS4
favorite.
next year. Let's check back in with Capcom for a new look at an upcoming heavy hitter.
Another heavy hitter from Capcom?
Street Fighter 6.
It's got to be Street Fighter.
Yeah. Good point. Heavy hitter.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
What?
When you go
That
looking
looks-
for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending.
Tell me this and that.
Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, hey there, I do this. Never fear losing. And when I get up in the game, y'all be improving. A real problem, but I solve them all face proof. And if you think I'm going forward, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. All done inside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk, and I put on for my city from the intro.
What is this?
Fight!
Yep, it's Street Fighter.
Wow.
Chun-Li.
Very different Street Fighter. Which I'm
Yeah.
kind of
It's got like an open
intrigued by.
world Street
Yeah.
Fighter or something.
It started from the ground up, training getting wound up, channeling it in itself and moving up around, crossing over past the bound on the time like I can keep score. Years I never thought it crossed before. When I get tired on my knees, I gotta get deep. I feel like I'm on the left.
I love the cardboard box head people. Love it.
Oh, this could be really cool actually.
Finally, I can do some cosplay. Just wear a cardboard box on my head. Wicked.
Let me have some fun.
I wonder if this is actually like Street Fighter 6 or like some Street Fighter fighting ground something.
Love the art style.
Yeah. Interesting.
This is our destiny. My secret art.
I take myself back to being a kid at the youth centre playing on the arcade machine Street Fighter 2, and you look at how far games have come now. Just yeah.
They're going. Yeah, it looks like they're going a little bit different. Like the fighting will be the same, but then they're trying to build like around that. It looks like.
Yeah.
Would like a little bit more PSVR 2, please.
That was your first look at Street Fighter 6 gameplay. Mark your calendars, it comes to PS5 and PS4 in 2023. Now it's time for 2 indie adventures arriving later this year.
I heard this was good.
Awesome. I really wanted this to come to PS4 or PS5. This looks great.
Yeah, I feel like this is the best state of play they've done in a long time.
I think ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone is watching this stream right now and you're buzzing like we are, make sure you subscribe and stick around because we've got so much to talk about on future shows. And this is just the launch for PlayStation VR 2, like with very little first party stuff, you know?
It's very true. Yeah, finding out what else Sony has in the works for PSVR 2 is going to be amazing. And there's so many different showcases over the next few weeks where they could do it.
Haraf Thornton said, ouch, that PS5 RE4 VR trailer hit Zuckerberg right in the graphics.
She set out to record life at the end of this season.
This is cute.
To make it real for people in the future. She asked us about living together.
And we asked her about traveling alone.
When the season turns, what will remain?
Only what she saw, what she captured.
She carries the sounds of the season with her.
I'm so glad we live in a world where games like this can exist, like indie games and big blockbusters all in one. Like, as a state of play, this works so well with all them together.
The way she listened made you want to tell her everything.
I hope we live in a world where games like this can exist.
I got to look in
Like,
her
this game
journal.
might come out and we will never see the developers again.
The world was
You know?
telling her its secrets.
That's what I
But
get
we always
nervous
see
about.
games like this on State of Play, what I mean. Like, Sony does give them a space, but I'm with you. They do need to be supported, and yeah.
I mean, especially when I was younger, I used to love the independent games. I used to love like the games that everyone else would overlook, you know. And
Not yet.
and now there's just so many of them; it's impossible to keep up.
Well, when I was growing up
That's
getting
the
the
thing.
demo discs, it was the Black PlayStation, I think it was called, which people could develop their own games on. And so on the demo disc, you got like the indie games that were made, and it was like before the internet.
世界中のゲーマーの皆さんこんにちは。
Here we go. Square Enix.
16プロデューサーの吉田です。
Final Fantasy 16.
長らくお待たせいたしましたが、
Nice.
いよいよファイナルファンタジー16の最新情報をお届けする日がやってまいりました。
Give us
最
fishing
新のトレー
mode.
ラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみにお待ちください。
I've had more Final Fantasy fishing than I need in a lifetime.
困難があります
In VR, I mean.
僕らゲーム開発者にはゲームを一生懸
I've
命
had enough.
するということしかできません。ゲームというエンターテインメントを通じてゲーマーの皆さんが心の底から楽しめる時間を提供していきたいと思ってます。それでは最新
Let's
のト
turn
レ
up the
ーラ
volume
ー
for
を
the trailer.
どうぞ。
All
fate.
Sounds like our world.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us.
They were smart.
At its immaculate aspect.
They were smart to put the VR stuff up front, so the traditional gamers couldn't tune out, right? They had to watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move.
What is
now.
with that fighting system? Okay.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
This looks great.
This looks good.
Because the first time they showed it, it looked really rough, the graphics. I mean, it looked like an early build. This looks really nice.
That we may bring an end to the strife and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
Is this PS5 only?
Good question. Shiva.
Final Fantasy music.
Bahamut. Phoenix. Oh, they're showing all the summons. They look dope. This looks really good. I might play this.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen
Bahamut.
who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Wow, that looks great. I've never played any Final Fantasy game other than 7.
Dude, Ifrit looks awesome.
There are people joining the chat.
Dude, they are crushing this state of play. How much time do we have left?
About 2 minutes.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Fishing mode.
Yeah, right. The fact that this isn't the one more thing is pretty cool. I guess, or unless this is the end, and who knows?
They often don't do a one more thing though, which is always
they
annoying.
don't usually.
But
there you go.
That's it.
And that's a wrap.
That was it.
Don't forget to visit PlayStation
Some people
Blog
joined the
to
chat and
learn
said,
even more about
"What have they
today's
missed from the VR?" It was right at the top, and we'll do a recap in a moment. So stick around. But it was amazing.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. Anybody who showed up late, holy crap! You missed an amazing beginning of the show. It was absolutely incredible.
You basically missed the best state of play ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
I actually feel a word that I would not normally use to describe state of play, and that is satisfied. Like, I genuinely feel good. It was a really solid state of play. Really, really good.
I really tried to like lower my expectations. I really tried to say, they're probably not going to show anything mind blowing, and they're just, this is like their first step, and it's not going to be a huge deal. And when the very first thing they did was show Resident Evil 4, I mean, it kind of blew all other precedents they had set about state of play out the window. It's like, here you go, here's Resident Evil 4. It never mind the fact that it ended with, hey, PlayStation VR content in development. Like, that's awesome, and that's bonus because we still don't know what that means. But to kick off your show with the Resident Evil 4 remake, this game that people have been clamoring for, a fan favorite for decades, like, that's an amazing way to start.
Agreed, and it looked beautiful too. That was the thing, man. Like, it was stunning visually, very impressive.
Oh my God, you guys!
All right, guys. While we collect our thoughts, I just want to give Joey Bats 33 with $2 tip says no need to read my tip. LFG. Looper the Underground Game Cat Rare with the €2 says, are they just following your top 3? This was at the very beginning of the show, and it seemed like everything we just wanted. They were just like, here you go, you guys asked for it. Dreamcastic Channel with a $2 tip says, chances of a new Twisted Metal game with VR? ? This was all before the show, if you're not realizing. Mash Daddy Cool.
Yeah, you got that one already.
Okay. Delirium. I hope I didn't miss anything. Delirium VR with a $10 tip says RE8 Brian, congratulations, so happy for you, happy for all of us right now. Screams and Beat Saber.
Congrats to everybody that held off on playing Resident Evil Village, because the wait was worth it, man. The wait was worth it.
I do give Wes credit, though. I give Wes a hard time, but at least he waited for VR, even if it was a VR mod. But yeah, man, this is super exciting. It's one of those games. I remember we were talking last week about. I think I was talking to Pacer in the voice chat, who said, I don't really care about the things that we already assume to be true. Things like Resident Evil Village, things like Half-Life Alyx, things like whatever. Right? It's like I don't need to see any of that because that's what we already assume to be true. And seeing it with my own eyes, after saying, it's got to be happening, all of the, putting the pieces together and saying, yes, it doesn't feel real until Sony says, here it is. And fucking here it is. Resident Evil Village in VR. And it looks stunning.
And a little bonus. Yeah. And a little bonus with Resident Evil 4. We got to see what this content is. But I am thinking it's the full game. But I do understand.
You think Resident Evil 4 is the full game, even though the wording was so much different with 4 than it was with 8?
I feel like it'll eventually get the full game in VR.
Same. Yeah, I think it's just they don't have anything to show, so they just had to be careful with it. Yeah.
Or there's an exclusive deal right now, and they have to wait for that exclusivity to run out. So they're just like content.
Yeah, that could be their way around their loophole around that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do find that wording to be curious, to say the least.
Yeah. Okay.
As someone who recently completed Horizon Forbidden West and was absolutely blown away by that open world, to see what they showed today was phenomenal. That
was amazing.
I'm not going to lie. Highlight. I can see the comparisons between a flat screen game like Forbidden West and a VR environment. But even so, looking into the distance and seeing those massive waterfalls and those massive mountains, there is an argument of, is it going to be open world or is it going to be more like an Uncharted game where you've got these amazing environments, but you do have a certain path? I think regardless of which of those two things it is, it's clearly going to be a phenomenal game, because sometimes
if it's a fun adventure, then I don't really, as long as it's a fun adventure, it doesn't have to be open world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And like a lot of these state of plays, I can't wait to watch these in 4K if they're uploaded to as videos afterwards and watching it again. But yeah, just phenomenal.
Wow.
And the fact that Firesprite have worked on that, I'm really excited to see what Firesprite does with other IPs and, with the new tech, if they do a new Persistence game. Or can you imagine they partnered up on the new Dead Space remake? That would just be amazing. Or the Callisto project,
Yeah, the Horizon footage was by far the highlight of this thing for me. I think that was breathtaking. It was stunning. Everything that we've said that we've wanted for so long in an Uncharted VR game, they showed us in this Horizon game. I think that's true. Yeah, man, it's going to be amazing to play that in VR, whether it be open world or just kind of be wide linear. I don't think it really.
I don't even give a shit if it's got to be linear to have you jumping out and grappling down large vines and swinging around, then so be it. They showed the combat, they showed locomotion, full locomotion. I think it was maybe smooth turning. I gotta watch it again. I'm basically gonna be watching this over on repeat all night long. Yeah. But the combat with the bows, I don't know if there was other weapons, but they showed the bow. They looked like that they were fighting some of the bigger robots. So man, pretty awesome.
I'm watching the footage again on Twitter just now. Jimmy Bowers from Endreams is just tweeting huge respect to Guerrilla and Firesprites for what this magical thing they've done. Totally agree with that sentiment. But watching the video again now, I'm tempted to say the models of the machines actually look better than on Forbidden West. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking at it now, and I think it's just because in VR you have that sense
scale, and this is flat screen. You're not even imagine how big these things are going to look. I mean, they showed the Thunderjaw, It looks like you're going to get. That's what I wanted to make sure. I was like, please just let me fight Thunderjaws and let me fight Watchers and all that stuff. And that's what it looks like it's going to have.
And there's so many moments in battle in Forbidden West and on Horizon Zero Dawn where, you know, when the machines take a swing at you and you roll. Obviously, you're not going to roll in VR. You can try, not until we're wireless. And then you can knock yourself out against the TV. But yeah, like when you duck and you'll see the tails, you know, you will see it sweep above you, and instead of going, you know, behind the TV view, you're going to be in VR. You're going to actually see that go over your head. Like, oh man.
It looked like it looked like they did something else too. It looked like there was a slow motion. I don't know if that was just for that moment or not, but that's been a workaround for some games too that are too fast, too twitchy. Is to slow things down and like a slow mo. Like Borderlands did that, where they had that BAMF mode or whatever, where you could like slow down time and make it lets you do some of the badassery stuff.
And can I just also say, like, to live in, you know, we say post-pandemic times, obviously that COVID is still about, so I'm always careful with that language. But, you know, there's always this question about how do you sell PSVR2? I'll quickly go over the story again, that in the lead up to PS5, Sony's strategy was to have everyone go to their local store, you know, put headphones on, experience 3D audio, pick up the DualSense, know what that haptic feedback is like. And that was all thrown out the window because of the pandemic. And so they had to take a different strategy for promoting it. And so for VR, you know, without giving everyone headsets they can try at their local stores, how do you make people feel the power of what VR feels like? And having seen these videos today, they've captured it so well. Like, you really get a sense of, you know, even the Horizon thing, like you can see the scale of, like, you know, going on the zip line and you know, climbing up the ladders. Like, they were very good at showing sort of the cut scenes. And you know what I loved was it was as if they knew what the question was in the mainstream of, is this a rail shooter? And the boat just gets flipped up, and as soon as you see it get flipped up, you're like, oh, now they're swimming. Okay, now there's a bit more movement. I thought it was a really cool way of sort of transitioning from that first expectation to what it ended up being.
It was a cool transition, because I think most people who were watching who had that question in mind were like, it is a rail shooter. Oh, we are going to be on this boat the entire time. Oh, this is Phantom Covert Ops, but, you know, with bows and arrows. And then to see the boat, you know, get thrown off of the boat and then see you climbing and running around and performing all the actions that you perform in a normal Horizon game. I mean, it really does show, like, their not only their commitment, but the fact that somebody kind of knows what they're doing. I think they intentionally teased that and intentionally made people wonder, is this the next Rush of Blood? Is this the next on rails experience? Just so that moment that we experienced today together could be that much more impactful. I think they absolutely killed that moment because, I mean, it worked for all of us, I think. Guys, there's some additional information going around. Thank you to whoever told me in the chat. Some additional information going around on the PlayStation blog. I'm going to switch over here for Resident Evil Village.
Yes,
because
let's take a look. You want me to read it?
Feel free to read it.
Resident Evil Village is coming to PlayStation VR 2. This comes via the PlayStation blog. Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer at Capcom Company Ltd, says the PlayStation 5 version of the award-winning Resident Evil Village is coming to PlayStation VR 2. Development is currently underway to bring the story campaign in its entirety to be playable in VR. The PSVR 2 system is currently in development, and Resident Evil Village will be able to provide an even deeper immersive experience by taking full advantage of the vivid graphics possible with the headset's 4K HDR display, PlayStation VR 2's eye tracking, PS5's 3D audio, and more. Soak in the gorgeous details of Demetru Dimitrescu. I haven't played it yet. I've been avoiding spoilers. Lady Dimitrescu. I don't know how to say her name. Castle, from its beautiful chandeliers to the textures of its furnishings. In PSVR 2, you'll feel the castle's inhabitants' presence all the more as they stalk you through its hallways, and be prepared to get overwhelmed by its owner, Lady D. Oh, I can't wait. In addition to the PSVR 2 headset, you'll use the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller's orbs to represent each hand in world. Try guarding using both of your arms, and Ethan will guard in the same way. Hold up a gun and Ethan will hold up his. You are also now able to execute dynamic actions such as firing your gun while holding a knife in the other hand, or holding a handgun with one hand and a shotgun with the other. These advanced controllers increase the player's immersion with the game. We showed you some of the. We showed you some special battle scenes we prepared just so that you could get a feel for the battle system in the PlayStation VR 2. The ultimate immersive survival horror experience. This game will put you right in the world of Resident Evil Village. Become Ethan Winters and take on his death-defying adventures. Please stay tuned for further information on the release date and pricing.
Interesting to say. Please stay tuned for further information on the release date and pricing. Well, obviously,
floodgates are opening, man.
It can't come out before the headset, which is probably their way of being like, well, it's a launch title, and we can't tell you when it's going to come out because that would tell you when the launch is. And pricing, meaning unlikely that this is a patch for the existing owners. I know a lot of people over the last few months have been saying, hey, Village is on sale for $20. Should I pick it up in case it gets a VR update later? And, I think we all said be cautious about that because we don't know how this is going to go down. And I think we're probably going to see this as a full priced game for the PSVR 2.
And speaking of full
yes, yeah. good answer. Yep.
Go ahead,
Wes. Okay. Speaking of full price game, and this will definitely be a conversation for a whole Gamecast episode. But Horizon Call of the Mountain, how much do you think it's going to be?
Doesn't matter. Take my money.
I know it doesn't matter. I'm just curious to know what the benchmark is going to be now because I'm gonna pay whatever it is. I mean, Half-Life Alyx, how much does that cost?
It's an important question, but because this generation, even AAA games have typically been $40. When they've been above that has been when they're a non-VR game and then it's like fully playable in VR. Stuff like Hitman VR or Hitman, which is a $60 game. So we have yet to see. I don't think we can answer that yet because we have yet to see if there is going to be a next gen price bump on the average AAA to indie title.
$60. I think it'd be $60. I really do because unless it continues the tradition of VR games being shorter than your typical traditional games, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that this is going to be the flagship of PSVR 2 at launch. I think this is going to be the game that completely showcases every feature that hardware has to offer, and I think it's going to be. I mean, I don't want to set expectations too high, but this might be the best VR game ever at the time that it launches.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Don't mind me. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm like downloading trailers and gathering information the best of my ability.
Let me check the PlayStation blog. There is a Resident Evil 4 thing here as well, but I don't think it mentions the VR. And I feel like let me just skim through this real quick. But I feel like that's why they're being really conservative about the content, saying what the content is. Yeah, this article doesn't even mention Resident Evil 4, and I think that's what's going on. Is most likely there is an exclusivity deal. When did Resident Evil 4 come out? It was October of last year. Right. Probably can't say anything until October of this year at the least.
Right.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to think about it because I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, Resident Evil 4. Everything they were showing was third person, right? And I know that doesn't exclude it from being possible in VR. Obviously, we could play a third-person game on PSVR 2. Obviously, we could possibly get a first-person mode of a third-person game in PSVR 2. So that doesn't limit it, but everything they did show was third-person, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So what game you guys want to talk about next? Can we talk about how freaking awesome Saints and Sinners 2 looks? It looks like the real apocalypse.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the story here coming out of this thing, because when we look at it, like if you had shown me this lineup on paper going into it, I would have been like, okay, that's cool, but I wouldn't have been blown away by it. But I think just how good all this stuff looks was the big surprise here. The way that how Saints and Sinners 2 looked here was amazing. The way that Village looks, and I've been playing Village in VR, and I've said it, like, this is probably as good at looking as any game, any native VR game that I've played, including Half-Life Alyx. It looked better during this state of play. Like, Resident Evil Village looked better during this trailer. And I think that's kind of the story here.
And that's not even in the headset yet.
Right, exactly.
It looks what people that maybe aren't as familiar with VR is, you got to realize stuff that looked like low poly, like Microsoft or like DOS games on flat screen looked good in VR, because you get that 3D depth, you get that sense of scale, you really get immersed in these worlds. These look like PS5 games, and when you get into VR and see them, guys, it's gonna be ridiculous. And Resident Evil, I'm sorry, not Resident Evil. With Saints and Sinners 2, they show the tower, so that was one thing that we asked. Every time we were playing Saints and Sinners, you'd see that tower in the back, and I kept saying every single freaking stream I did of that game, I was like, I want to go there. Like, I want to go take that freaking building down. And that's exactly where they started out, was the top of that building where I guess the leader of the tower was. And that looks like who you're going to be going after. But we've seen more, so we know that there's other characters too. There was some Russian bad guy or something, so we'll see what his role is to play. But the world looks, the city just looks a little bit more realistic to me. If you notice the Saints and Sinners graphically, like, it doesn't have that kind of comic book hybrid style as much. It looked a little bit more realistic to me. I don't know if anyone else got that.
I think everything.
Yeah, and I was
realistic. Sorry, Wes. Go ahead, Wes.
No, I was going to say that was kind of the biggest takeaway for me with Saints and Sinners 2 is we've all kind of debated whether or not this is going to be a full-blown sequel or just kind of a continuation of the first one. Yeah. And, up until now, they've kind of sold this game as, you versus this kind of rogue bad guy, this violent psychopath, but really haven't given you much with regards to what the story of the game is going to be. Now we know that, this is still you versus the tower, right? This is still you versus the tower, and it's going to be a proper continuation of the story that they laid the ground for in the first one. I am super excited for this game.
Oh, okay. So, anyone want to share any thoughts on that? Because we have a PlayStation blog for No Man's Sky, baby.
Read it.
Go for it.
All right. This comes from Sean Murray himself in the PlayStation blog. It says, space exploration about to get a whole lot more immersive. 3 years ago, we launched our Beyond update and reimagined No Man's Sky as a true virtual reality experience. It was a huge undertaking, but overnight it became one of the biggest VR titles as we released it as a free update for every member of our large community. We wanted players to experience our universe from an entirely new perspective and play through its entirety fully immersed in VR. Today, we are happy to announce that No Man's Sky is in development for PlayStation VR 2, PSVR 2 system also currently in development. Interesting. He actually puts that the PSVR 2 system is also still being developed. It's also a fantastic moment for us to focus on our virtual reality experience. Back in 2019, for the original PlayStation VR, we took the decision to rebuild the game from the ground up, leaving no stone unturned when it came to amping up the VR immersion. Guys, there's a lot more here. Yeah, I guess I'll keep going. But I just want to point out that he just said that they took the game, their flat screen game, and they rebuilt it from the ground up for VR, which is something that we've talked about with hybrid games, something that we can maybe, so we see that it can be done with games. Anyways, I'll keep going unless somebody wants to say something.
Just that, Hello Games have been so great at constantly innovating, and what they did with that VR when it first came out, and then all the patches they did to respond to the community feedback about was it too blurry and other issues. So yeah. I have nothing but faith and excitement for what they're going to do for taking advantage of all the features that come with the PSVR 2 headset. So exciting. I can't wait to jump back in.
Which leads me to question. I mean, I think that they made Hello Games did such an amazing job with the PlayStation 5 version of No Man's Sky, and allowing us to play the PlayStation 5 version on a PSVR 1 headset. How do you think that's going to lessen the impact of playing on a PSVR 2 headset? Do you think that that's what advancements, AJ? Since you're one of the people I know that's played this game the most. What kind of advancements do you think the PSVR 2 headset could actually bring to No Man's Sky that we haven't seen already from, graphical standpoint?
From the PS5.
Some pretty cool stuff.
What
could take it further?
So the stuff like the draw distance, I mean, the PS5 version, even though you're playing PSVR 1 on PS5, it is greatly enhanced. I mean, it is almost crystal clear. There are still parts, though, little tiny parts where there could be looking up, a big thing about No Man's Sky is the exploration is really soaking in the views. And with the PlayStation 5, with the that version, you can really get probably a lot better view of more more foliage, more denser, more dense environments, I should say. And there are still parts where there's a whole bunch of trees together and stuff. If there's really a ton going on, at times it can look a little just kind of just maxing out what the headset can do. It goes at times beyond what the PSVR headset is capable of resolution wise. So that resolution bump, trust me, you will notice the difference when you play this. And yeah, I think it's mostly from a graphical performance and just dense environments.
And analog sticks.
I could say, and analog sticks, right?
Yeah.
I could say from experience, having played both, not very much, but having experienced this game on both PS4, PS5, and PC, there's still some room to grow from the PS5 version. Specifically there's a lot of clarity, AJ talks about draw distance. That absolutely is a real thing. But other things like the radiation storms, when those come over on PS5, those can look pretty rough sometimes. There's a lot of headroom here, basically, when I'm talking, just graphically, there's a lot of headroom here.
There's a lot of stuff on the PS5 version that isn't on the PS4 VR version as well.
Right.
Even stuff like the water updates, and there are some updates that majority gets PS5 with VR, but there's still some stuff that is left out because of it.
Guys, if you don't mind me getting caught up on some tips here, we got Heyoto, Japan, with the 2,000 yen.
Heyoto!
Finally, this made my day. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations to you, to all of us.
Congratulations to you, Heyoto.
Darth Vader the Game Cat with the $10 tip says, Big Booba.
He's very excited about that. A lot of people
are very
excited.
I can't wait.
That is a system seller.
Can't wait to be bear hugged by her.
Lady D's going to have the PSVR 2 headsets flying off the shelves, guys.
I'm going to be running right at her.
Killcell 777
at first.
with the $5 tip, sends us a cat emoji. Thank you very much. Original Uberbitch Bearded Game Cat with the €5 says, finally, I'll be able to play a Resident Evil game in VR from start to finish because I've played RE8 already and I know I'm not going to shit my pants. Not this time. Waleed is now a Game Cat. Rare, specifically White Tiger with Canadian $2 tip, says, I was shocked to see Horizon. I had tears. I think it was next level gameplay footage. That was incredible.
I had a little bit of moisture around my eyes seeing No Man's Sky because I believed, but I didn't expect to see it.
Alberto Mopam, El Game Gato with D50 Mexican pesos said maybe the RE4 team have a tight schedule and a full PSVR 2 compatibility might not be finished by day one, and that's why they worded it differently. Saludos. It's possible, man. It's possible. I'd really like to dig deeper and find out what's going on with that. We got Loop at the Underground Game Cat with the €2 says it's Deer Meat Rescue. It's out of context from what we were watching, so I don't know. So I don't know what that was a reference to. I'm sorry. Peter the Underground Game Cat on parole. $5 tip says, what if RE4 is a launch title? So the date of March 24th, 2023 is the headset launch. What do you think? Could be stealthily telling us what the headset launch date is today?
I think it's a possibility. I don't know if I would consider it likely, but certainly a possibility.
Looper the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says the blog post says that Retribution is also coming to PSVR 1.
That's true.
Snap.
So guess what? We got some shit to play this year. Looper
Yes.
the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says the Retribution blog post also says PSVR 2 in 2023, which I think is the first public statement of PSVR 2 coming no later than that. Which is true. There are people out there. I did a Twitter poll, and there were some people who thought that PSVR 2 could potentially still come later than 2023. It's a very small group, but there's some people voted for the 2024 option. So yeah, I would say that maybe this doesn't tell us when PSVR 2 is getting here at the earliest, but we can absolutely say that 2023 at the latest. And finally, Pietrek F with the 9 plantains says, where are Alex in Gran Turismo 7?
Well, I was actually just about to speak on this point, which is what I'm about to say may seem like I'm trying to put a dampener on what we saw today. I'm definitely not. Today was absolutely phenomenal. But I honestly think we've seen nothing yet. I think they are holding back, including a lot of flat screen first party stuff. I think in September it's going to be phenomenal because there's been this sense of stuff being held back for since the last showcase in September last year, because Horizon Forbidden West got delayed. We saw God of War and that's been delayed more. There's been all these delays while all the talk around acquisitions with Xbox doing these massive moves, and Sony over a year ago now said I think they had over 20 different first party titles being worked on by their by their own studios. They need to start announcing them, and I think that that tied in with VR is an opportunity to show the hybrid stuff. So phenomenal today, but I do think this is just the starting pistol, and
of course
they're
it is.
Yeah.
Usually by the end of the generation, a console generation is when you get the best games. And unfortunately, PSVR 1,
not the case.
I mean, the hardware got so dated, unfortunately, because there's still a lot of stuff when it was launched. It was a lot of stuff to figure out. PSVR 2 is going to age way better than PSVR 1 will. It's going to have a lot better longevity. Guys, there's still half of this No Man's Sky article, and then there's a Horizon one, which I don't think we talked about. We talked about the Horizon one, and there's something interesting I want to point out that's similar in both.
Let's do it.
Are we going to Horizon or are we going back to No Man's Sky?
I think I can finish the No Man's Sky. It's up to you. Okay. Cockpits. And
I'm sorry. What did you just send me?
Cockpits. Cockpits and control systems of starships and land vehicles were rebuilt. Menu systems and interfaces redesigned. Teleportation controls, terrain manipulation, warp effects were all redesigned to heighten the dynamism, tacticity, and exhilaration of your adventure. No aspect of the experience was overlooked in our drive for maximum immersion. And this is, okay, I'm just going to keep going. In the years that have passed, looking back on the planet you've just left as it recedes from view, staring up as your life-size ship teleports in above you, or creating a towering base structure in VR solo or with friends has never gotten old. In a VR headset, creatures seem closer and more familiar. Space battles seem more ferocious and frenetic. Planetary vistas more expansive and zen-like. To experience No Man's Sky in PSVR was a minor miracle. Such was the technical challenge we faced, bringing an infinite, seamless universe into the futuristic headset. Several years later, the technology has taken another major leap forward, such that now we have the opportunity to immerse the player to a whole new level. The power of PlayStation 5, coupled with the all-new PlayStation VR 2 hardware, including the new Sense controllers, orbs, combined to take that sense of immersion and believability up by several notches. We will be talking more about the specific features of No Man's Sky for PlayStation VR 2 in the coming months. Our journey continues. Yeah, all I was going to point out was that they did a phenomenal job of any game, a phenomenal job of translating the gameplay and the core game itself into VR. How you reach out, you grab doors to open them. Every, like they said, the cockpits.
So that's all the chat is talking about right now, by the way, sure. And they're probably clipping it and turning it into a remix. So.
Oh no! but you look at what No Man's Sky did with VR versus what Hitman 3 did, and look at the difference in executing that. So when you guys are ready, we have also the Horzion Call of the Mountain article.
Let's do it.
I'm ready when you're ready, I think.
All right. This comes from Ben McCaw, narrative director, Gorilla. Sorry, Ben. In early January, we offered you a glimpse into Horzion Call of the Mountain, a new adventure created exclusively for PlayStation VR 2. Now, let me just point out something. It also says here, PSVR 2 system currently in development. Mm-hmm. So I think I think that's telling us some valuable info there that PSVR 2 is still being developed.
I mean, I'm sure there are final details that are still being taken care of. But I think it's just their way of saying it's not out yet.
Development doesn't necessarily mean the hardware either.
There are changes that can still take place, I think is what it means. Like, not everything is finalized.
Yeah. Oh man. I definitely think there are some changes that could still take place too, but that's maybe a conversation for another day. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And now we're excited to share a new trailer with you featuring some of the action and adventure that will take place in this upcoming game. Have a look. That was the trailer that we saw. We got the name. Meet Rias, Horzion Call of the Mountain's protagonist. His name is Rias. The world of Horzion is spectacular up close. In Call of the Mountain, you'll be seeing it through the eyes of Rias, a former Shadow Karja warrior who hopes to redeem himself by investigating a grave new threat to the Sundom. He is a master at climbing and archery, two skills crucial to survival as you step into his shoes, scaling perilous mountains and taking down mighty machines like the Thunderjaw. Yes. Throughout your journey, you will master various tools and weapons and use the world's many materials to craft additional gear, equipping you for any situation. It's going to be crafting. But you won't be going it alone. Along the way, you'll meet Horzion characters new and old, including Aloy herself.
Wow.
Alongside
That's
the game's
awesome.
Alongside the game's main story, Call of the Mountain will also offer an exciting, immersive river ride experience. Take a seat and enjoy the gorgeous views of the world of Horzion, but look out, some uninvited machines may try to come aboard. The river ride is the perfect way for a player using the PSVR 2 headset to share the magic of PSVR 2 with your friends and family as they watch along on a connected display. I don't know what they're talking about here.
I mean, it's just saying your family can watch on the TV while you play. What is? It's a strange thing to reference, don't you think? Like it's like, oh, everybody can enjoy this as you go. It's like, well, mostly the person.
Only one person's going to be having the most fun.
Yeah.
I think what they're saying here is that this is going to be a separate mode, separate from the main story campaign.
Oh, you think
that is more of a on rails experience, something you can put your friends and family in.
That makes sense.
While everyone else watches, we take turns with the river ride.
Do they watch along on a connected display?
Even consider that. That makes a lot of sense.
Right, it's perfect wherever plays. Share the magic of PSVR 2 with your friends and family as they watch along on a connected display.
Well, think about the demo.
That sounds just like a TV, but
right?
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
It is. It is.
But the river ride though, it's sort of like, hey, here's your PSVR Worlds 2 experience.
Exactly.
Right?
This is Ocean Descent 2.0.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Horzion Call of the Mountain has proudly developed together with the talented team at Firesprite. You can read more about the blah blah blah. We can't wait to welcome fans to the Horizon thing. VR community. The rest of it, the article is the Forbidden West update. Okay. So that was it for the VR stuff.
Well, I'm definitely curious to know where it fits in the canon of Horizon. And that was why when they said you meet Aloy, because there was this sense of it's just going to be a completely separate, like just within the world, but a complete separate game. The fact there's going to be some crossover, I think, is really awesome.
I think it's hilarious that when people were worried about that being an on-rails experience, they were absolutely right. That was an on-rails experience.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I do think that there's a place for that. The last thing we would want is if that was the game. But having that be a mode, having that be something you can do, and just kind of put your friends and family into VR and say, look how fucking beautiful this world is. As I think a lot of us did with Ocean's Descent. Sadly, I did it with Drive Club. It was a terrible idea, and I'm still sorry about that, Mom. But
Rush of Blood here.
Yeah, different story altogether. Oh, my dad. Actually, I put my dad in Rush of Blood, and that worked out pretty well. But anyway.
I think that's excellent. And I think more games should do that because, there's many times where there's a VR game I'd love to show friends and family who are not, veteran VR players. And it's just, they don't have enough time to really get into it and learn the controls. So to have a mode that is better suited to them, I think, more games should do that for sure.
Did we extract anything else from that article? It was interesting, talking about it like this, that you'll meet Aloy. I think that was something that AJ and I probably talked about on another episode. And just putting in context, I think this is supposed to be taking place between Horizon 1 and 2, to the best of my knowledge. Is that
what it looks like?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see this Reyes guy and see if he turns out to be a decent character. I think Aloy was such a strong character that I think Horizon is tied to her so strongly. It'll be interesting to be like, well, I'm not playing as her, but we do meet her. But
right.
I think ultimately it doesn't matter when you're playing in first person. You kind of like lose a little bit of the sense of who the main character is when you're playing as them in first person. So maybe it won't matter at all. It'll just be cool to be in that world and use all the weapons that we've seen on the flat screen.
I think that the fact that there's going to be crafting and grinding involved in this game does lend a little bit more likelihood to this actually being an open world experience, right? Because you have to explore and scavenge for materials. It doesn't lend itself very, very well to a linear experience. So,
right. Although Last of Us did give us, so it was pretty linear. The open areas, and there was quite a bit of crafting in that too. So it just made sure that you were really utilizing every single corner of the world that was given to you, right? So you get into a new area and you're like, well, I'm gonna take these guys out, but then I'm not leaving for like 10 minutes because I need to check everything. So even if it's I wouldn't be disappointed.
For sure. And there's also this sort of like mid-level genre, isn't there, of open world? Like when we think of God of War, that was sort of seen as this middle ground where it was kind of open world, but it wasn't. Like, you can go to different areas and explore, but there are sort of levels too. So It could very well end up being that. But yeah, no, the crafting stuff, really, really cool, and super excited to play it.
Loop of the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says, did you notice the Summer Game Fest logo in the corner at the ending screen? I think it was there for a reason. It was there for a reason, because this was somehow looped into the whole Summer Games Fest event. And so I wouldn't be surprised, because Sony's already announced their participation in Summer Games Fest, if we see more PlayStation VR 2 in just a week or two. When does that thing kick off? Does anybody have a date handy?
1 week.
1 week.
Pretty sure. Yeah, next Thursday.
9th,
night.
8th,
Yeah.
9th. Yeah.
Just scrolling down. I want to make sure we don't get too far away from some of these tips, because some of them go. Looper the Underground Game Cat with the €2 says 21 is a great way to show RE7 to your friends. Very cool mini game in Resident Evil 7. The DLC 21, cut off limbs and stuff. Did you guys all play that?
I didn't play it in VR. No, I'm not.
Pretty cool. Even though you don't have your own hands, I do feel like if I had move control support and my hands were out there and they were chopping off my fingers and stuff, I'd be like, huh, phantom pains.
So there's no PlayStation blog for. Oh wait. Did we already did Saints and Sinners? Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure we didn't miss anything. We got Resident Evil Village, Saints and Sinners. Resident Evil 4 didn't mention anything, and then No Man's Sky. And then of course Horizon Call of the Mountain. Amazing, you guys.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
As thrilled as I was to see Village, I do think that Call of the Mountain was just so graphically impressive. I think if they had said this is a PlayStation 5 game, flat screen game, I would have been like, yeah, this is beautiful. And like, PlayStation 5, absolutely necessary to make this thing run. And it's like, oh shit, right? Because
Isn't that amazing though, Brian? Because we were so eager to finally get to play Resident Evil 8 in VR, and then when we saw it, we were blown away. And despite that, kicking it off, and then we saw Call of the Mountain with that intro that we'd seen before, and as it just kept showing more and more, it's still because sometimes there's this thing of like when they tell you what's coming. They showed us another clip and saying we are going to be covering Call of the Mountain on this state of play, and normally when that happens, you're going to be less surprised naturally because it's coming. And despite knowing it was coming, that was the one thing we were certain of. It was still the most mind-blowing thing arguably of the PSVR 2 showcase, which is huge credit to Guerrilla Games and Firesprite.
It's very true. It's very true. We got a couple more tips here. We got Naughty What's Up with the $5 tip. Says a connected device is vague. I'm thinking the only other devices are phones, which would be connected either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi network.
I think they're just meant TV, like the social screen output.
It does seem strange. It just took me a second. Right? It's just a connected device, like TV.
Yeah.
Why would you just say TV?
Oh, is that what you call them in America? TV? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Because we say connected device. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, connected device. Yeah, like I think you call them microwaves and fridges. Yeah, they're just connected
it will
devices.
be interesting to see if there is some kind of multiplayer VR observation, like if more than one person can view. Maybe if there's like a shared thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's a really weird thing to say, but I wouldn't read too much into it.
Well, I mean, I feel like we should read into everything right now, right? Because they're not saying things as clearly as they should with the Resident Evil 4 content, PSVR 2 content. They didn't say mode. They said PSVR 2 content. We need to read into that when they say connected
I don't
device.
think so. I don't think you need to. It's going to be the full game.
I would put 17 pizzas.
And then your friends can watch and experience Resident Evil 4 while you play on a connected device.
It kind of lends me to think or wonder if they're teasing something, right? Because they didn't just say your friends can watch you play on television. It makes me wonder, like, what kind of share functionalities are we going to see with PSVR 2? What kind of what kind of improved UI? What better options are we going to have to share our gameplay with other people? Can we cast the television output to other people on their phones, like without having to like stream it on YouTube, that kind of thing? it'd be interesting to see if this does turn into
But,
something.
but would
or
that
if we're
really
just
be a
reading
fun
into it.
experience? Like, yeah, I think you're just reading too much into it.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't think you're reading enough into the RE4 content, though.
There's a lot to read into here. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what we need to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Man.
I'm just downloading the last few thumbnails here that I need for the channel. I tried to run the channel and hang out with you guys and talk at the same time. But yeah, dude, let's hold on a second. Let's just see, make sure. Et.2k9.now with the $10 tip says, show definitely lived up to the hype. Dreams and No Man's Sky are going to come in handy the next 9 months. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Well, and Saints and Sinners 2 is going to be releasing on PSVR 1, so that's good.
yeah.
And Zenith's going to get a big update.
Yeah, Zenith is going to get an update. There's some life in the old dog yet.
We should hear something about Do Not Open. I mean, that's going to be at the Future Game Show, right? So
Yes, that's right.
right. So yeah, a little bit of life left in PSVR 1 and a whole lot of news today for PSVR 2. And it was, I mean, I think we can all agree it was better than we could have expected. I think we'd all kind of like put our expectations in check before the show. We were predicting things, but at the same time, I think we were saying, in a dream world, this is the kind of crazy stuff we would see. And we actually saw some of that, which I feel like is, this was an amazing first step. And if there's anybody out there who wasn't satisfied with what was shown for PSVR 2, it was a little bit of everything. I think I'd be shocked. Would have only been better with all of the other things that we had listed that we wanted to see.
More will come.
For sure.
Totally.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit surprised that we got one thing that we weren't expecting. I would have expected 2 or 3 surprises to be in there. We got one thing that really was a surprise, and even that had content tied to it. So overall, I mean, I was excited. Loved everything I saw. Did it live up to my expectation? Not really. I got to be honest, it didn't really. But I mean, I loved everything I saw. We'll say that.
Did not live up to your expectations.
No, I expected more. Honestly, I told you it wasn't going to live up to my expectations.
Did we ever get a count as to how many minutes we got?
So I was about to mention that, I forgot because we didn't expect it right from the start. I think we probably got about 8 minutes. But the important thing here is it shows you it's about the quality and the fact that there's no waffle. The amount of state of plays we've seen where it's just so much space and you're kind of this sense of waiting for the next thing. This just hit you again and again. There was no messing around. And so, 8 minutes, it was less than 10, less than 15. But it was way more than what you'd get in 15 minutes on a regular state of play. So, I think that the format of this was phenomenal. Yep. They need to make sure this is what state of play is. State of play should either be this, hitting you in the face constantly with really awesome announcements, or this is a state of play on this particular game. That's how they manage the expectations.
It is interesting. You definitely called it there where you said they played this right, where they did all the VR first, so nobody could walk away. Everybody has to see it. But then they still gave people that aren't into VR some stuff to look forward to, some good announcements for them so that they're not pissed off and angry and take it out on PSVR. This is something that they made a mistake with. The very first state of play was that PSVR just wasn't ready for the big stage. And then when you get rid of E3, you have these high expectations of this replacement show, and then you don't give anybody for the non-VR crowd anything. This is what caused the backlash for PSVR in the first gen and originally. So hopefully a lot of people were excited about Street Fighter. A lot of people were excited about Final Fantasy 16. That looked really good. Stray looks awesome. Callisto Protocol looks great. So I think I'm happy with what they did here. I think they executed this really, really well. And I'm definitely not disappointed here. I knew there was a bunch of different stuff we could see, and I just didn't know pick and choose which one of these things we're going to see. I thought maybe we were going to see Alex, maybe we were going to see, Gran Turismo 7, something like that.
Yeah.
But, we got Village, we got Horizon, looks great. And Resident Evil 4 was a surprise, No Man's Sky. So, and of course, Saints and Sinners 2. So, I will say this didn't exceed my expectations, but it was like right on par. Like I knew this was going to be good, and I knew I was going to like this.
So for me, when it comes to expectations, there are different categories of it. It's like, what's the amount they're going to show in terms of duration? Yeah, they didn't exceed my expectations there. Did they exceed my expectations in terms of the titles they showed? They actually showed the safest bets yet, which was, more about Saints and Sinners, Resident Evil 8, which was, I think, the most questionable, but one that we all felt pretty comfortable with. Call of the Mountain. And there was the Resident Evil 4 nod as well, and then No Man's Sky actually, which was great, but I would argue is quite a safe bet. However, where it exceeded my expectations was what it showed us of those games exceeded my expectations, because I didn't just look at it and go, "Oh, great, it's just a VR port." It was like
they were trailers, they were real game trailers,
and it captured the essence of what VR feels like, this next gen, and that. When I was watching it going, okay, I know what Resident Evil 8 looks like. I know what No Man's Sky looks like. But seeing...
It's a huge missed opportunity for showing somebody going with a headset on and flailing around. Don't you think? No, we've said time and time again that mixed reality trailers are not really how you sell people on this stuff. You want to show them just the juicy, good-looking gameplay, and I think gameplay is king, and I think this proved what it goes along with what you're saying, and I think they killed it.
I agree. I agree with what Miles said here, in that everything that they showed did exceed my expectations in the level of quality. Like everything looked better than I even expected it to look, and I had high expectations for all of this stuff. Like Resident Evil 4 was stunning. Resident Evil Village was stunning. No Man's Sky, Saints and Sinners, all of it. And then Call of the Mountain, like my mind is blown with Call of the Mountain, just how great that looks. In that way, definitely exceeded my expectations. I'm talking more in terms of like content. What did they really put forward to grab traditional gamers? I mean, VR sequels and games that are already in VR, I mean, that's not going to sell headsets to people who don't already have them. That's what I mean when I say it didn't really live up to what I was expecting.
I mean, and I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, I think when it comes to Horizon Call of the Mountain alone, right? I think the fact that Sony's finally ready to bring one of their most popular IPs into VR and stamp it with PlayStation VR 2 only, right? You're not going to be able to play this on a flat screen, to our knowledge, right? And so that's just something they weren't ready to do last gen. We never got an Uncharted VR. We never got a Killzone VR. We never got anything. We had to settle for things like Immortal Legacy. It was like kind of felt like Uncharted, and it seemed like Uncharted-like, but they're finally taking this massive step forward in believing in VR, PlayStation VR 2 enough to put one of their biggest franchises in it. And I don't think this is the last time we're going to see that. And the fact that they did that, and the fact that they did it so well, and kind of blew away all of our expectations with it, that to me was more than enough for this show. Period. After that, everything else to me was just bonus after that, because Horizon looks better than anything we had seen so far. We had seen the reveal teaser, 10 seconds at best in January, and it was like really impressive. And then we saw like 5 more seconds of like sort of the updated, graphical overhaul that it had gotten during development. And that looked really good. But seeing it all in motion and just seeing the combat and seeing all of this, as like in the amount that they showed, and the swimming, everything just looked so amazing, that you can tell that they've treated this with care, with the kind of care that they would have a flat screen Horizon game. So to me, this is them coming out swinging and figuring out also what state of play means in the process. Because state of play for a very long time seemed confused. They didn't know what state of play was supposed to be. And I think instead of having a state of play every 3 months that shows, hey, this is just some games, here's some new trailers for new games, here you go, like them, don't like them, we don't care. Save them up. man. Have a nice, solid, meaty 30-minute state of play with some heavy hitters and mix in the indies there so we can kind of appreciate those and go, oh, look, these cool games are coming too. But we've already gotten the excitement from some of the bangers that you showed at the beginning of the show. I think they're figuring their shit out.
But would you like to see them, Brian? Would you like to see them kind of have a third iteration of the digital presentation? We have PlayStation Showcase, which is pretty much annual. We have State of Play, which they're still trying to kind of settle in on an identity for that.
Right.
Would you like to see like a 4 to 6 weeks, like 10-minute to 15-minute presentation from them where they highlight indies, maybe have one banger in there, something lesser so that we can have State of Play definitely, mean something when it comes.
There's already a PlayStation YouTube channel where they just upload trailers every fucking day of games you don't care about. And so I say, if that's your thing, if that's something that you want, just keep an eye on the PlayStation YouTube channel and just watch the trailers they upload and be like, and that's your filler. That's your filler content between State of Plays and between showcases. I think that's enough. I absolutely think that's enough. Larry Chu with the $5 says, hype. Agreed. Ben Dawson with the $2 says, glad I got to watch this with friends. Me too. 3 of you guys and the 700 of you guys out there. Creeper Betty PSVR with a $10 tip. What's up, Betty? Says, I agree with AJ. I'm already not happy with this. Already not happy with this comment. Resident Evil 4 is going to be...
off.
Sorry.
No, I was just wanted to say I got to give hats off to AJ for predicting Saints and Sinners 2 being in here. I didn't think at all that would be in here, and I was pleasantly surprised to see it.
What can I say?
Listen,
the crystal ball knows all.
God, I'm rolling my eyes so fucking hard you can hear it in the back rows. I will say that before the show, I was like, man, if they show Saints and Sinners, it's just pointless. Why would they do that? Why would they show something that is coming to Quest? Right? This isn't going to impress anyone. But the gameplay they showed looked like it was, if that's not PSVR2 footage, it's high-end PC footage, which, as we know, should be pretty damn comparable to what we get on PlayStation VR 2. And so, whereas we were questioning, I know you kind of brought up this earlier, Wes, we were questioning whether Retribution would feel like a full-fledged sequel. It's going to, if we wait for the PSVR 2 version, right? Because not even if the gameplay is pretty similar and just a few new weapons or whatever, the graphical overhaul for the PSVR 2 version is going to make it feel like such an upgrade. And so for me, even if it plays a lot like the original, it'll still feel like a full-blown sequel because of the new platform it's on. I guess we should finish Creeper Betty's tip, despite the fact I don't like how it started. She says, I agree with AJ. It's going to be the full game in terms of Resident Evil 4. From play, RE8 already felt like it was built for VR. That wasn't a big surprise to me. However, the Saints and Sinners and No Man's Sky trailers blew my mind.
Hell yeah.
Piotrek F in the chat with 9 plantains says, RE8 looks best, especially exactly like the flat screen PlayStation 5 at first sight.
Yeah,
that's really, really reassuring. It did look. I didn't see any compromises in the short trailer that we saw.
It was beautiful, man. Those weapon models were just friggin' stunningly detailed.
And that's all we got for you guys. It's been awesome hanging out, watching this live. It's been again, we didn't know what to expect, and I feel like we got plenty, and with more showcases on the way, with more events on the way, I do feel like with the Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest, especially with Sony being part of that, that could potentially be part 2 of this State of Play for PSVR 2 gamers. So stay tuned to that. We'll obviously stream whatever we possibly can right here on the channel. But in the meantime, make sure you go check out Miles Dyer's channel over at Miles Dyer, AJ's channel over at PlayStation VR or PSVR, as it is, Underground, and Wes Dillon over at Virtual Strangers. Feel free to click that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel and all of these guys' channels, and hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparolegames if you like the lights being on, because that's what keeps them on. We appreciate you guys so much. You guys ready to get out of here?
Yeah, and we're going to be back on tomorrow. So if anyone that's tuned in and not tuned in before, Gamescast, Brian and I are going to be back. I'm going to miss doing it with all of us. It's been really cool today. But yeah, what time is it, Eastern?
6
Games
p.m.
Cast?
Eastern.
6 p.m. I'd say I don't know. I just know what it is my time.
What time is it your time for all the UK?
Yeah,
cats
10
out there?
p.m. in the UK. 10 p.m. in the UK. Oh no, 11 p.m.
I was going to say, shouldn't it be 11? How do I?
Yeah, 11. Yeah.
Everyone's going to tune in and be like, "Oh, we missed it."
Yeah, well, it's 10 p.m. GMT, 11 p.m. UK time. Yeah, and I know, no doubt, we'll be talking a lot about this. And Creeper Betty, who did the tip, is actually working on a really cool project with me on Rec Room, which the deadline for us getting it complete is hopefully for tomorrow's show. So stay tuned. We'll talk all about it then. Appreciate Betty for the support on that. I'm literally jumping on Rec Room now to finish it off.
All right, it's a 2-hour mark. Let's do this.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, you can click the link in the description below and join our Discord. It's free to join, and that's where all the coolest cats hang out. I'm going to probably pop in the voice chat after I fill my coffee up and hang out over there. But thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, all the cats out there. We love you so very much. We will see you.
Woo! PSVR 2, baby! Let's go!
Somebody get me a leash. We love you guys.
Love you all.
Floodgates are open.
Cockpit.
Cockpits?
Cockpits. I didn't say cockpits.
You said cockpicks, man. That's why everybody in the chat
I thought I said
exploded.
cockpips.
Cockpicks.
I thought I said pips.
You definitely said cock.
And that's the important part.
No.